Imagine you are studying at your dream college in London, hoping to earn a degree that will change your life forever. Your parents are working tirelessly to pay your fees. They even skip meals so that you can have a bright future. You are doing your best too, focusing on your studies and staying determined. But then your friends come into the picture. They have expensive cars, luxurious watches, designer suits, and massive houses. When you meet them, they don't mistreat you, but deep down, you hear a voice that whispers, "Bro, you are poor. You don't fit in this circle." You start isolating yourself. Then one day you think, maybe I need to fit in. So you take out loans, swipe credit cards and spend beyond your means to flex and gain social acceptance. But inside, you are dying. The pressure is unbearable. Sounds familiar? Well, this is not just your story. This is the story of Ankur Warikoo. He made similar mistakes wasting his 20s and 30s. His teenage years gone in poor financial decisions. He took loans to maintain a lifestyle that wasn't sustainable. And then reality hit. Ankur realized that his entire life was now tied to paying back debt. Living in debt is horrible. It traps you mentally and emotionally. You constantly feel anxious, stressed, and powerless. You can't sleep peacefully. You avoid your friends. Every paycheck feels like it's already gone before it even hits your account. But here's the inspiring part. Ankur didn't give up. He reflected on his mistakes, learned from them, and made a comeback. Today, at the age of 44, he's a millionaire. He achieved this by running his coaching businesses, selling his books, helping students through his courses, and creating content on YouTube. In this video, I'm going to share 7 key principles that helped Ankur make this incredible comeback from his first book, Do a Picture. These are the lessons he wishes he knew in his 20s. Make sure to watch this video till the end. Lesson number 1. Own your mistakes. Ankur Warikoo learned this lesson the hard way. When he was in his 20s, he made poor financial decisions. He took loans to live a lifestyle that he couldn't afford, buying expensive things just to fit in with his friends. At first, it felt good, but soon, the weight of debt became unbearable. He realized that his entire income was going toward paying off those loans, and he had no financial freedom. At this point, he had two choices. Number 1. Blame the situation or other people. He could have blamed his friends for pressuring him to fit in, blame society for valuing material success, or even blame his parents for not teaching him better financial habits. This might have made him feel better temporarily, but it wouldn't have solved his problem. Number 2. Own his mistakes. Ankur chose the second option. He admitted to himself that he made those decisions. He took the loans, he overspent, and he was responsible for the mess he was in. When you own your mistakes, you take back control of your life. If you blame others, you give them the power. But when you say, "This is my fault," you can also say, "I have the power to fix it." Sit down and reflect on what went wrong. Be brutally honest with yourself. What decision did you make that led to this situation? It's tempting to say, "I did this because my friends pressured me," or "my boss stressed me out." But true ownership means accepting that the final decision was yours. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this mistake? For example, Ankur learned that living beyond your means only leads to financial misery. Once you have identified the mistake, create a plan to fix it. Ankur started by cutting unnecessary expenses, creating a budget, and finding ways to increase his income to pay off his debt. Ankur openly shares that after getting into debt, he didn't just sit back and sulk. He started learning about financial management, built better spending habits, and eventually turned his life around. If he hadn't owned his mistake, he would still be living in debt, blaming the world for his problems. We all make mistakes, whether it's overspending, choosing the wrong career path, or wasting time on things that don't matter. But blaming others will keep you stuck. When you own your mistakes, you gain the power to learn, grow, and move forward. So next time something goes wrong, instead of saying, "This happened to me," say, "What can I learn from this? And how can I fix it?" That's the mindset shift that transformed Ankur Warikoo's life, and it can transform yours too. Lesson number 2. Stop comparing yourself. Ankur Warikoo learned an important life lesson during his 20s. Comparison is a trap that steals your joy and confidence. Surrounded by friends who drove luxury cars, wore designer watches, and lived in big houses, he often felt out of place and inadequate. Even though they never looked down on him, an inner voice kept telling him that he didn't belong. This toxic mindset led to frustration, self-doubt, and the urge to keep up by spending beyond his means. But over time, Ankur realized that everyone's journey is different, and success doesn't have a universal definition. It's not just about having material possessions. True success is about living life on your own terms, growing as a person, and being content with your progress. Instead of comparing himself to others, he shifted his focus to becoming better than his past self. That change in mindset brought him peace and fulfillment. His advice is that stop measuring your worth by someone else's achievement. Appreciate your progress and set your own goals, and define success on your own terms. When you stop comparing, you unlock the freedom to live a meaningful and satisfying life. Lesson 3. Build financial discipline. Ankur Wariku's financial journey was filled with mistakes that taught him the value of discipline with money. In his 20s, he lived beyond his means, driven by the urge to fit in with friends who flaunted luxury lifestyle. He bought things he didn't need, like fancy gadgets and expensive clothes, and even financed his lifestyle with credit cards and loans. At first, it felt great to be part of the crowd, but soon reality hit. The debts piled up, and financial stress became a constant companion. Ankur realized that living paycheck to paycheck was not sustainable, and being in debt chained him to a life of anxiety and regret. That's when he decided to take charge and build financial discipline. He started by tracking every expense and creating a strict budget to avoid unnecessary spending. He also adopted the habit of asking himself before every purchase, do I really need this? This simple question saved him from countless impulse buys. Another key lesson was learning the power of saving and investing early. Instead of spending his earnings on temporary pleasures, Ankur began setting aside money for investments and emergencies. He understood that wealth is not built overnight. It grows when you consistently save and invest over time. His final insight is never inflate your lifestyle just because your income increases. Ankur chose to maintain a simple lifestyle even as he earned more, channeling his extra money into investments and personal growth. His advice is clear. Financial discipline equals freedom. It allows you to live a life where money is a tool, not a stressor. When you manage your finances wisely, you gain the power to make choices that align with your goals and dreams. Start small, stay consistent, and remember that every dollar saved today is an investment in your future. Lesson 4. Time is your most valuable asset. Ankur Wariku realized a critical truth. Time is the most valuable resource we have. In his 20s, he often spent hours on things that didn't matter, mindless scrolling on social media, unproductive meetings, and socializing without purpose. These habits made him feel busy but led to little progress in his personal and professional life. It was only after facing financial and career struggles that Ankur understood the true value of time. He began treating it like money, something to invest wisely, instead of letting the day control him. He took charge by creating a structured schedule. He prioritized tasks that aligned with his long-term goals and cut out distractions. This shift not only made him more productive but also gave him a sense of control over his life. One of his most powerful lessons was learning to say no to things that didn't add value, whether it was unnecessary meetings or social obligations. Ankur chose to focus on what truly mattered to him. His advice is simple: treat your time as a limited currency. Spend it on activities that help you grow, bring joy, or move you closer to your dreams. When you respect your time, success naturally follows. Lesson 5. Build meaningful relationships. Ankur Wariku emphasizes that success is not just about money or achievements. It's also about the people you surround yourself with. In his early years, he was focused solely on his career and personal ambitions, often neglecting relationships with his friends, family, and mentors. But as time went on, he realized that meaningful connections are essential for happiness and growth. Ankur learned that genuine relationships are built on trust, empathy, and giving without expecting anything in return. He began investing time in listening to people, understanding their perspectives, and offering help whenever possible. Building meaningful relationships also meant being intentional about surrounding yourself with positive, growth-oriented individuals who motivated him to be better. One of his key lessons was the importance of asking for help and being open to mentorship. Seeking advice from experienced people saved him from making costly mistakes and provided valuable insights. Ankur's advice is don't take relationships for granted. Nurture them with care and authenticity, because success feels hollow if you have no one to share with it. Building a strong support system enriches both your personal and professional life, making the journey far more fulfilling. Lesson 6. Learn to manage your emotions. Ankur Wariku learned that managing emotion is a critical life skill, especially when facing challenges and setbacks. In his early years, he often left anger, frustration, and anxiety control his decisions. Whether it was financial setback or a professional failure, he would react impulsively, which only made the situation worse. Over time, Ankur realized that emotional intelligence is key to making better decisions and maintaining healthy relationships. He adopted practices to understand and process his emotions rather than suppressing or ignoring them. Meditation, journaling, and taking a step back during emotionally charged situations helped him gain clarity. One important lesson he shares is the power of response over reaction. When faced with criticism or challenges, instead of reacting with anger, he learned to pause, reflect, and respond thoughtfully. This shift not only improved his decision making but also strengthened his relationship. Ankur's advice is clear: don't let emotions dictate your actions. Acknowledge them, understand what they are telling you, and respond with a calm and composed mindset. Emotional mastery is not about never feeling negative emotions. It's about learning to navigate them in a way that empowers you and helps you grow. Lesson 7. Focus on consistency, not perfection. Ankur Warikoo learned that perfection is an illusion that often holds people back from taking action. In his early years, he would procrastinate on projects, waiting for the perfect plan or moment. This mindset led to missed opportunities and wasted time. Over time, he realized that consistent effort, even if imperfect, is far more valuable than chasing perfection. He started focusing on small, daily actions that aligned with his goals. Whether it was creating content, working on his business, or maintaining personal habits, Ankur committed to showing up every day. Even when the outcome wasn't perfect, the cumulative effect of his consistent efforts brought him success over time. One of his key lessons was to embrace failure as a part of the process. He understood that mistakes are not setbacks, but stepping stones to growth. Instead of being paralyzed by the fear of getting it wrong, he learned to act, learn, and improve. Ankur's advice is clear: don't wait for perfection, it will never come. Start with what you have. Be consistent and trust the process. Success is not about big leaps, it's about showing up every day and making steady progress towards your goals. So, those were the 7 life changing lessons from Ankur Warikoo's book, Do Epic Shit. These are the lessons he wishes he knew in his 20s, and they have the power to transform your life too if you apply them consistently. Remember, life is not about being perfect, it's about learning, growing, and becoming the best version of yourself. If you found value in this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Hell of Wisdom for more book summaries and motivational content that helps you grow. Also, let me know in the comments which lesson resonated with you the most. Until next time, stay curious, keep learning.